Northern Climate Exchange is the climate change research branch of the Yukon Research Center. And we've actually been around since 2000, so this is our 12th year of operation here in the Yukon. The type of work that we do at the Northern Climate Exchange is quite wide-ranging, from adaptation planning to research on glacial changes to investigations on permafrost and what kind of impacts permafrost or changes to permafrost might have in communities and what that means for communities specifically around infrastructure. So the type of the work that we do is very broad-ranging, but the major focus of the Northern Climate Exchange is really to help the Yukon prepare to what a changing climate might mean for Yukon communities.
So my name is Sarah Laxton and I work at the Yukon Geological Survey as the outreach geologist, but I'm also involved in other research projects like working on glaciers and using geophysics to understand grave sites and other archaeological finds around the territory. So the research that I'll be describing is looking at calculating the volume of ice in the Wheaton Glacier. And this research started last year, so in 2011. And we really wanted to understand the volume of ice that's currently in the Wheaton Glacier and then how that glacier ice is going to change with climate change into the future. The purpose of this research is to really understand the volume of ice that's currently being held by the Wheaton Glacier. And to understand this, we need to use different methods, including geophysics, to find out the thickness of the ice. And then from that, we can tell the total volume. And once we know the volume, we can calculate and forecast its change over time due to climate change. So the special equipment that we need for this project is a ground penetrating radar. And what this piece of equipment does is it allows us to get a thickness of the ice in order to generate a volume calculation. And as well as using the ground penetrating radar, we use a GPS, so Global Positioning System. And this allows us to measure the perimeter of the glacial ice and calculate its change over time as a baseline. We were pretty fortunate by selecting the Wheaton Glacier that projects have been done in the past that have analyzed the changes in area extent of the ice by analyzing historic aerial photographs and satellite images. So we were able to incorporate that information in selecting the site and proceeding to do the volume calculation with a ground penetrating radar. And our work to contribute to future projects is really going to provide that volume accurate calculation that can be then monitored and assessed. So other factors that can be influenced by fluctuations in ice volume that are resulting from climatic change could be the input and fluctuation of meltwater runoff coming from the glacial ice. So for rivers downstream, it's really important to characterize where that flow is coming from and the seasonality of that flow. So the partners of this research team, the Yukon Geological Survey, the University of Alberta, and the Northern Climate Exchange. And this research came together through facilitation of the research group synergies by the Northern Climate Exchange.